The Phoenician Scheme. If you've been around the channel for any length of time, you'll know I love Wes Anderson. I've covered all of his other movies on the channel either through blind reactions or commentaries. Even got my little alien buddy up there. I'm very excited for this. Excited to see where Wes goes next, because his last two films have been quite meta thematically. I'm wondering where he goes with this. I did see the trailer, but I didn't absorb too much, but it did seem interesting, maybe exploring empire and, you know, I know the main character here, Benicio del Toro, he's like a ruler of a country and there's like things being overthrown and things like that. So I'm excited to see where he goes with this. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. Over there you can find a full-length version of this and all my other Wes Anderson reactions. You just sync up your own footage and can watch along with me. There's also polls to vote for what's next, early access, requests you can make. Yeah, let's just hop right in. Yeah, tense, not the usual vibe, this background music. Oh! Oh, whoa! That's new. When has it ever been Gorgor? Is he under attack?
This allowed me to complete a proper safety check despite credible threats of sabotage. You forced me to take off and needle me.
Okay, it's been sabotage. It's not. Yeah, there's not someone attacking right now.
You're fired.
What's that?
That's kind of the risk that comes with flying him. Yeah. Hey. Oh, he'll land himself. Yeah.
This was Corda's 6th recorded airplane crash.
Sick. Wow.
A controversial figure. Some will mourn his death. Others inevitably will celebrate.
Is he actually dead? Or is this a flash forward? Okay, there's Willem.
Who was this man? How do we recognize?
In heaven?
Let us consider his life and deeds.
Yeah, he's being judged.
I don't know you.
Yeah. There was that quick flip to inverted. The colors were inverted for a split second. Him as a child? I feel like we might be exploring legacy here. Oh, what's that he's holding? Some body part? Some internal guts or something. It's just gonna... I don't know. He's scraped death multiple times. I don't know if it's actually going to change his ways or anything. Is it going to cause any introspection or not? If he's had 6 plane crashes before, you know. Oh, multicolor. The green reminded me of the green of Asteroid City for a second.
Disrupting, obstructing, impeding, crippling Corda's enterprise in any manner possible.
Yeah, getting right to him.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, so I thought he was a leader of a country, but it seems not. He's more of a middleman, but he's still making bank off it. And has immense power because of that.
Liesel, I expect you received news of my death. The reports were inaccurate, needless to say.
The reports of my death were wildly exaggerated.
Why sooner rather than later, since you survived again? And why am I sole heir to your estate? You have 8 sons at last count.
9.
Yeah, only her.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying.
She doesn't look happy with it.
Like a trial period.
Of being your daughter.
Of being sole heir to my estate.
She can finally be his daughter for a while.
They say you murdered my mother.
Said that. Who said that?
They. It's what they say.
Yeah, it's the word on the street.
I have no choice but to take you at your word.
I never personally murdered anybody at all, ever.
Never personally, yeah.
I was very fond of your mother and never would have murdered her under any circumstances whatsoever.
Yeah, and Michael Cera's just here, observing, watching.
They live in a dormitory across the street. I don't know what they're doing here. Is today a Saturday? That might explain it.
He doesn't know, doesn't care.
Be careful of your eyes. He's a very good shot.
Is that a Chekhov's crossbow? But that could come up again. Jasper's a good shot.
Black market syndicates.
Wow.
Hello. Yes.
Is he gonna come over? No, still sitting there.
Who the deuce is that? He's been eavesdropping on us.
I'm the new tutor.
Ah, of course. Welcome.
Oh, two to the boys, okay.
Then to retain an appropriate but extremely valuable 5% of the revenues.
Mr. 5%, yeah. He always takes 5%.
Me? I can eat a horse and easily a pigeon.
You're invited to
I love his accent.
or engaged as a professional contract assassin for hire.
He's got to do this with everyone he hires.
I write with perplexing tidings.
See what I mean? Poisoned.
Wow. Yeah, just like that. So casual. Yeah, it was poisoned. Another day in the office.
I believe they receive a small stipend. It's really up to the king.
I thought the point is that they're slaves.
There's a terrible famine in this region. This shoebox, I mean.
I know, that's us.
Oh, that's us. We did it. Notice the mirrors in the back were slanted forward so the reflection didn't catch the camera.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, which starts in the nursery. No one cared about her for me except my nanny.
Ah, you raised the way you were raised.
She was murdered, by the way. Not a suicide, the official ruling.
Just not by him.
When I swear my word of solemnest honor, we shall bring ferocious revenge down upon this cold-blooded butcher.
Ah, that's the way to get her to sign it. Okay.
I think so. He is one of our principal partners.
Yeah, they're probably not. He wasn't thinking get him arrested. He was thinking take him out.
No slaves, no famine, no dormitory. You're on a trial period.
Ah, flipping it back on him. Change his ways a bit, yeah.
I pray for your health and comfort.
Much more adorned. Look at it.
A new rule. From this day forward, you're allowed a maximum of 2 authorized friends, each of you.
I thought he was going to say questions.
Anyone on that list will be permitted to enter these premises at any time.
Okay, yeah, got to run a tight ship. If you want to get to him, get to his kids, you know. That does make sense.
Wake up. The new plane is on the tarmac. We're leaving in 10 minutes.
What?
Wake up.
I love the spotlight, yeah.
I'll tell you in the air.
Tell me now.
It's very urgent, yeah. What was the message?
Over the past 50 years, the market value of bashable rivets has risen calmly, measurably.
Oh, they were talking about the rivets in the meeting. I was wondering why that came up, yeah.
All category of construction materials across the entire Western Near East. My enemies are manipulating.
Means construction is impossible.
We rendezvous with every titan in every shoebox and pretend we agree what we already agreed, but in fact, we don't. We can't.
Okay. Meeting with everyone and lying straight to their face.
Wake up the tutor.
He's coming too. Oh, okay, we're breaking it down by shoeboxes.
Are those screws or bolts?
Possibly both, likely accumulated over several incidents.
Some of those from the planes.
Can you accept now to be careful around it?
Why are we traveling with a box full of hand grenades?
I have extra.
You never know when you might need them.
You'll be acting as my administrative secretary for the time being. The last one got blown in two, as you know.
Yeah, who's sitting in that same seat?
It's brothel in the seediest red light district.
Oh dear.
On this swirling orb. Nothing could detract from your loveliness.
Okay, bit of a romance brewing.
Thank you.
My legal residence is a shack in Portugal. My official domicile is a hut on the Black Sea. My certificated abode is...
Wherever taxes are least, probably.
I don't live anywhere. I'm not a citizen at all.
He's a shadow, he doesn't exist.
I never lost interest in you, by the way.
He doesn't need human rights. I wonder, there's quite a focus on that line. I wonder if that will come back up. He will start to feel more human by the end.
Actually, that's some other fellows. I think assassins.
Of course, they're going to encounter that quite a bit. Oh, who's fighting back?
You armed yourself. Good girl.
Makes him proud.
Driver. I pledge to compensate his family on behalf of the king.
There's Rizamed, okay.
They got him right through the pump. The driver, I mean. Poor man.
Right through the pump, right through his heart.
Another knife. She's got one, too, under the habit. Show 'em.
Holy moly.
I bought it at the airport.
Just Michael Cera's accent. Holy moly.
Would you like to hold my hand?
I was going to suggest the same thing.
Thank you both.
Very good talk.
Bjorn getting jealous. Bryan Cranston and Tom Hanks.
It's a symbolic meeting to connect the unfinished tracks. It's a formality.
Not anymore. Well, help yourself.
Needs to renegotiate.
It's not our problem.
It's his and yours.
Goodbye.
And just like that, they're off.
2 on 2, first to 5.
Basketball. Okay. Nice, yeah, they've always got it perfectly set up.
We're the underdog, yes. I still like our chances. Basketball, by the way, is their greatest.
He's got age on his side.
Beer's delicious. You should drink this.
Okay, 2 beers.
Easily convinced. Oh, miles off.
Classic backhand layup.
Yeah, like a game of horse then.
I beg your pardon. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, whispered something there.
Subject.
He didn't say anything about the sovereign queen.
Don't listen to that. He's trying to get in your head.
Yeah. Went through the hoop. Maybe a bit of travel.
Does that
It doesn't count, but I've never seen it done before.
You gotta bounce it when you move.
Yeah, maybe keep it a bit more informed.
How well do I know?
Anatole Korda.
Oh, they're 2 beers down, yeah. Oh.
Could you imagine falling?
Is it just gonna like win them over, the earnestness, them playing their sport, you know?
Sisters of the Cloth do not engage in romantic behaviour of any kind.
Oh, really?
It's a vow.
In that case, stop flirting with the prince.
Yeah, jealous.
I think I died, actually. For about a minute and a half.
Yeah, we saw Heaven.
My enemies are everywhere. I don't like my
Yeah, he's just being more earnest, getting to them.
insects and related subjects.
Sorry for my bad manners. The beers were too strong.
Hush.
It's not affected her at all.
You're the only child that did wish to try to be a proper father, too. But it wasn't possible.
There we go, yeah, it's more earnest.
One last shot. From the end of the train tracks.
Oh, long shot.
He misses. There's 500,000 Swiss francs in that rucksack.
It's all on Farouk.
Is it acceptable for me to propel the ball in this manner?
I don't think it matters as long as it goes in.
1 moment.
Oh, nice, yeah, make a prayer. Oh, we don't see it, and we're back to Heaven again. That was her knife.
Good husband. What tribute is this?
Oh, these are the 3 wives that he's had before.
She's not your daughter.
Oh, is she not? Is she from another man?
You do have my eyes.
Or is that more symbolic?
Tell you that?
Nobody ever told me I have any.
As in, you know, she's so different from him. Got some brows on him.
Uncle Nubar.
Oh, could it be the uncle? Mum cheated on his brother.
Wait. How's this one? Bisous, bisous.
Does he put on a bit more of a different personality with him?
All of it, you said. I speak French, of course. You're fiddling with it again.
Okay, yes, but I'm doing
Yeah, he's always fiddling with it, yeah.
It's supposed to be here. It was under 18 minutes.
perfectly fine. We land in 10.
Nothing phases him, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. The goal there was going to add up to 115% of the gap.
1, 2, 3.
So that's him fiddling with it. He'd get 15% more.
In the meantime, help yourself to a hand grenade. You're very kind.
May I offer you a chance, Captain?
Does he just bring the hand grenades as gifts then?
I recognize your handwriting. This is you.
He's trying to fiddle.
The consortium refused to cover the gap, and you're trying to secretly blackmail me to sell.
Nice.
Well, anyway, you're wrong about my handwriting. Bjorn redrafted it.
Why'd you just do that?
He doesn't fall for it. They cover 10% plus Farouk another 5%.
I feel like he's deceitful at first, then he's honest, and they respect the honesty.
I'll change it back. We concede the point.
Too late.
No. I'll change it back.
Is he going to have some sort of game with him as well?
On behalf of the jungle unit of the Intercontinental Radical Freedom Militia Corps, all money, jewels and watches into the bags, please.
Or if he sorts out this situation, maybe he can... That would change his mind.
He's shooting my ceiling! Just rob my customers and make your getaway!
These pamphlets articulate our policies.
It seems like quite reasonable policies.
Why are you shooting my ceiling?
He cares, yeah, about the ceiling the most.
Let's communicate.
Oh!
Bullet for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's not too bad, actually. I think
the money saved him.
Slowed it down.
Excuse us.
Oh, credentials.
But your father did something heroic, I suppose. It should have been him.
It wasn't even on purpose, yeah.
Thomas, wait.
Oh, some alcohol. Nice. Oh.
Garde-la. C'est celle qui doit pas toucher.
Oh yeah, that's a good token to keep. Yeah, the one that didn't get you. Okay, 12.5. Uncle Neighbor, yeah, his goal's increasing as we go.
Where's the rucksack?
Oh, I shouldn't keep it in the taxi.
He should always have it with him, yeah.
Terrorist from out of town.
Jeez, man, you shoot him back?
Not yet. This is Professor Bjorn, my administrative secretary.
Welcome aboard.
Are these grenades going to come back up again? They've all been handed one.
Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind.
Damn it!
Oh, yeah.
I woke up in the middle
Seeing heaven again. These was a child.
cat trapped in a cupboard. I got up and snuck out through the hatch in the upstairs scullery. They looked
Yeah, this was like, it's almost like a trial. It's a trial if he's getting into heaven or not.
Her breasts were naked. Your mother won't be living with us anymore, you said. Go to bed.
It's the last time she saw her.
I'm not on trial here, am I?
He said he just realized.
The reason I know who killed your mother, which I didn't do, is because I did do something else which maybe caused it to happen.
Oh, okay. He killed his wife or something.
In spite of my own infidelities, and I tricked him, not in my own handwriting, into thinking your mother was betraying him behind his back with my administration.
Okay. There is a chance she's born from the uncle, not him.
I was very fond of her. No.
Nice. Yeah, that's great to see Jeffrey Wright's reaction as well.
I always expected the worst from you.
Yes, to be expected.
How dare you! You liar! Somebody's gotta help me!
They always have to have a little shouting match. Yeah.
It's because if you don't, I refuse to put the pin back in.
Oh, does putting the pin back in actually work?
I think I trust you too in return. Not to tell the truth or keep your word, obviously.
You kind of, if you know someone's deceitful, you can trust in their deceit. They're predictable.
Target's resources continue to dwindle as partners grow dubious and bewildered.
I feel like he's doing well though, actually, to recover.
Target has appointed daughter his official successor, currently a nun. Not for long, I hope.
How are they getting this information? Is there a mole? Is it Bjorn?
He asked to be mummified and buried in a pyramid. We bought the land and drew up the plans, but never built it.
Ooh. If he dies, how will they bury him? Will it be to his wishes?
Birthday. How old are you? 21.
Oh, he does know. He does care.
Son or a seven?
It's, God damn it, it's a G.
Been fiddling with it.
Ah, Morse code.
Was I? I didn't know.
You speak Morse code?
Oh, no, not fluently. I learned it as a...
Could be useful. Now, how's this 7th plane crash gonna be in comparison to the others?
Peg him with a hand grenade.
Hand grenade always useful. Oh. Maybe not. Did they get him too? Oh, look at all of this. Yeah, different passports.
Your father, however, on occasion bears decisive hostility to the United States government and its allies. And then
Okay.
observe, report,
You're a
and
spy.
maintain.
Yeah, he was the spy.
Interesting story, I suppose. After the war, my own primary.
But the accent wasn't an act.
I hope you don't feel betrayed. I could go ahead and turn back into my normal self right now, if you like.
Oh no, there is a normal self.
See what I mean? Basically the same person.
Loses the accent though.
Different.
Is there still the romantic interest?
I do feel betrayed.
Me too.
Oh! Yeah, he's been trained.
You employed me in good faith to teach you about insects. This is a wonderful setting for us to continue our lessons. I've never seen so many bugs.
Yeah, he's still kind of loyal to him though. Become fond of him.
Why'd you ask if I could imagine falling in love with a man like you?
No.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
Was it part of your mission?
No, it wasn't part of my anything.
Yeah, still the interest there. Oh! Straight in. And of course, seeing heaven again.
Bless us and these thy holy gifts.
What's this about?
Yeah, Bill Murray God.
It's damnable. To hell.
I believe they receive a small stipend.
Is it technically slavery then? Yeah, he's slightly enlarged, isn't he?
I'm not dead yet.
He's still got time to redeem himself as well.
I don't know if I feel terrible or flattered or both. Like maybe I matter.
They're all much closer now. Got the bokeh at the back. There is some blur there. More character focused. Seeing the real them in those shots. Now that obviously Bjorn has dropped the identity. Everything's bejeweled now.
What's your real first name, Agent Carson?
I'm happy to just go by Bjorn.
So he's still just gonna go by Bjorn.
The robin brings worms to its chicks in the nest on my windowsill. Sister Mary pumps the water pump at 7.
Was that a split diopter? There was a...
Each day is exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a slight blur in the middle. You can tell by the shoes sitting there.
Besides, you're my sole heir.
On a trial basis.
That's finished. You're hired.
I don't forgive you after all, I'm ashamed to say.
Yeah, but what about her end? Is he hired? I don't think so.
There you are.
Oh, it's him. The
How
rebels.
extraordinary to stumble across your crash site, I gather. Hello, hello, hello.
Which was the one that shot him?
You're not an atheist!
Of course I am. Somebody really claim to be.
Oh, that's the guy that shot him, isn't it? Are they going to apologise for that? Are they going to anything?
Marriage license and anti-nuptial contract. I assume you're aware of the proposal.
I didn't know. She says yes.
She did say yes, yeah.
Very pious, Sister Liesel, but you're not plain.
Was he looking for a safe behind one?
Of course we would continue to cherish your ongoing patronage of the Abbey. You just won't be a nun anymore.
Yeah, they just want the money.
Are you authorized, by the way, to do a baptizing if somebody wants to be Catholic? Me?
You're an atheist.
I mean, yeah, he has quite literally met God, so...
It's better I just go on her side.
There we go, closeness, seeing each other again.
Another shoebox.
This one's older.
A different plan?
You and your terrorists provide security services to our entire party throughout the event.
Okay, he's hiring them.
His Holiness refuses to cover the gap, any of it.
In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Tell them I offered 9 more souls.
Wow.
My operational handler, codename Excalibur.
Oh, they were just there.
Off the record, the gap might be bottomless, closer to an abyss.
Yeah, they've agreed to a percentage, but do they know the exact number they'd be covering?
I recognize this assassin. Who hired you?
He recognizes all the assassins.
Oh, no.
Suicide.
I do always love the just like casualness, you know, unfazed. Something crazy happens, but the characters don't react. God, that is some facial hair.
She wasn't my wife.
Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind. I have my own. She's not your daughter.
I don't.
Oh yeah, she really does have his eyes.
They say you murdered all your wives.
Wait. I'm putting this on just so I don't lie.
Oh, so he put it on himself.
I'll open the shoebox.
It might be something important.
My grandfather.
Oh, he's in there, yeah. Fits the theming.
But situated entirely in a perpetual war zone. For the next 150 years, I'd rather sell guns, bombs, and ammunition.
If it's a perpetual war, yeah.
Stabbing everybody all at once simultaneously in the back.
Yes. I couldn't resist.
He's got to do it in person, see him in person.
The slaves will be paid.
The slaves will be paid.
The famine will be finished.
The famine will be finished.
Doing it properly. Has he been fiddling with it at all, though? Usually, when there's a new Wes Anderson film out, they do an exhibition in London of the sets and things, but they didn't for this film, and I feel like that would have they would have had that there, you know.
I'll be right back.
Just for, yeah, the craftsmanship of that, just for what, a minute or two?
No, not the business deal. My no is final. I mean, your assassination.
Oh. The shaky cam, yeah. It's always great when it breaks out, kind of breaks out of the Wes Anderson-ness of it. Is he gonna die or see him in heaven again?
I won't die. I never do.
Oh yeah, look at that, handheld. Really shows the franticness.
Who could lick whom, I guess.
Oh, just back to that. Nice. Yeah, didn't hit a hard surface. Is he just gonna carry on his presentation? Oh, the hand grenades. They've all got one as well, though.
Let's communicate.
Oh. Yeah, just himself. Oh, and the dam. All of them. From that water just coming in, wow. Yeah, well, there was just those flashes, those photo cards that Uncle Nubar saw just before he died there. What was he realizing? In a pyramid, just as he wished, of course, yeah.
Our new quarters, though modest, cramped, meagre and shabby, are, nevertheless, charming and versatile.
Okay, so that was still just a flash of death that they had. She did actually survive.
I do serve a purpose here.
Did Jaja as well?
Agent Carlson resigned as a double agent and accepted a staff position at our local grammar school.
Yeah, he did have a genuine, obvious interest in the insects. Passion for it.
I do admire his resilience and ambition, though I don't believe these come from God.
Wow, to his old butler.
Could you imagine marrying a man like me? I mean it as a genuine question.
Oh.
Is that paste?
No. Yes, I think so. I don't know. It's the same one. Cousin.
Yeah, the same ring.
P.S. To this day, he's a very good cook.
Did he ever really cook it for himself? Back when he had all the riches.
You say yes?
on a trial basis.
Nice. Still a leak though. Even back then there was a leak. Okay, so that was the Phoenician Scheme. I just feel like people don't get it. People don't get it the way I get it. With Wes Anderson recently, I was aware of the reception this got not being as positive, and same with Asteroid City, same with French Dispatch. There was, you know, a bit of a pushback against these films. And I just think if you look at Wes Anderson's career as a whole, you know, he starts with these films, The Royal Tenenbaums, for example, dysfunctional family, but it's kind of from the child's perspective, and you've got a dysfunctional father. Now, in Wes Anderson's life, he is a father, and he has to reckon with what he has created before, showing these dysfunctional fathers. Now that he is one himself, how does he become a good father? How does he not fall into that? And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a father and a daughter, but this is a dysfunctional father from the perspective of a father. It's a different perspective. It's similar, but different perspective. Now he has the different perspective on life, you know? And I do think, to defend the critiques, more recently, you have to go digging for meaning more in his work, but I do think it is there, and there will be more I'll find in rewatches of this. Same with Asteroid City, you uncover more as you rewatch, more of that depth that was more prevalent on the surface in his earlier work. But like, it's so clear what he's going here with the father-daughter relationship and him now being a father himself, how that relates to his previous work. I think that's great. That's so great to explore. And then exploring his legacy, you know, the previous few films have been more meta. He's exploring his legacy as a filmmaker in a way here, but then it also feels quite current with Jar Jar being, you know, this billionaire. He's willing to give up so many of his morals to get what he wants to achieve. That reflects real life, of course it does. And then at the end we're seeing actually he's more content just being this like chef, this diner owner, and it's the influence from his daughter where, you know, there were so many things where she wasn't willing to give up on her morals. There were, you know, little bits where she strayed away, like having a beer and things, but on the big things, like the use of slave labor, she wasn't budging on that, and she eventually influenced him. And it's like, for him, he doesn't get to that position, obviously, without not having those morals, willing to use slave labor, willing to pit people against each other, and then is facing this judgment. And because he is seeing this judgment, whether it's real or not, this vision of God that he's seeing and this trial that he's having is forcing him to consider his place in the world. Yeah, the people in power who get to those points, they get to those points because they don't have the same moral compass as other people, and other people who could get to those points won't, because they have the moral compass that holds them back. For example, just off the top of my head, someone like Dolly Parton, she could be so much richer than she currently is, and she is still obviously accumulating wealth, but she does do so much charitable things, and I believe her charitable acts to be genuine as well, because obviously there's the whole tax relief you can get from doing charitable things, and even just moral, social kind of credit you get from doing those. But for her, I believe she is being genuine in that. So it's like the people who do have that moral compass, they would never get to that point anyway. And yeah, seeing these, you know, visions of God and is forcing him to reconsider his acts. Obviously, he doesn't actually die in the end, but you could also see this journey that he goes on almost as a journey of closure. You know, he's going to all of these people he's met throughout his life, obviously closing the gap with his daughter. You know, that's the whole thing. He's closing the gap, obviously, in the literal sense of closing this financial gap, but he's closing this emotional gap with his daughter and closing these gaps with other business partners and people he has history with, even, you know, these assassins who are coming along, and he's like, I think I know this guy. This is an assassin I've hired before. He recognizes them, you know. I think there was a coming to terms with mortality here. And I think there is almost like a little bit of a I don't know if I'm reading too much into this now, a little bit of a Christmas Carol kind of thing going on here, where we're seeing his past through everything going on here with you know, he's obviously going to people that he's done business with before, so he's exploring his past in that sense. But then I feel like with the uncle, with Benedict Cumberbatch's character, he was almost acting as a more extreme version of him, like a potential future. You know, he only cares about the money, and there's going to be this perpetual war that he will then fund, and he is going to, you know, be the arms dealer for this perpetual war and make all the money off it. And he also has this, you know, palace that he's got, but it has no soul. He's kind of stripped the soul out of it, as Jar Jar was saying as well. He's like reckoning with his past, present, and future at the same times here, in a way that Scrooge does as well. And then at the end is more content when he comes to terms with things. Yeah, I think maybe some of the problem people could have had with this as well is getting too caught up in the minutiae of the plotting itself, because, you know, it's that traveling to each destination to get the funding from each different person, as I understand it. I feel like maybe some people got too lost in that, too lost in the bolts and the percentages and all of this and that, which that's just window dressing for what's actually happening here. This reckoning with his legacy and with his daughter, coming to terms with that, closing the emotional gap with his daughter. That's the real heart of the film. And I think getting too caught in the weeds of what's going on there, you know, you don't need to do that necessarily. I feel like people could get lost in that and not focusing on the bigger picture, the broader strokes, you know. But as much as I do understand the film and what it's going for, I do think that the whole kind of judgment with him in heaven, I wish the ending, maybe we saw a little bit more of that, because, you know, we had the uncle blow up the grenade and the flood comes in and we see the three of them there walking from stage left to stage right, and I was like, oh, are they all dead, or they've all experienced near death there? And then we have that maybe bit of closure with putting the grandfather into the pyramid as he had wished. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe there was something missing there, just one more scene in that heaven arena where we see something more of him to get a little bit more closure, or it helps him cement this kind of realization of what's important in his life, perhaps. Just something in there, something in that abstract, not 100% sure. I just felt like, yeah, just something could have been done there to really cement those portions of the film, you know. And there are a few moments here that I really loved. You know, when he's fighting the uncle, there's the moment where Benedict Cumberbatch, he like grabs the camera and shakes it, and it's always so good. I think it's happened in a few recent films. You know, it happened a little bit in French Dispatch, where Wes breaks away from the form and things become more loose and fluid, and like that was a moment there, because the film follows such a rigid, you know, the classic Wes Anderson 90 degrees, everything's square and symmetrical. It's such a great contrast when we get something else in there, and we get that with him grabbing the camera and shaking it about, and that one kind of handheld shot as they're running around. I wish that whole fight was just filmed like that, a complete breakaway, you know, because it really shocks you as an audience. You become so familiar with the filmmaking style as the film goes on, it creates such a great contrast in those moments. And I wish maybe he could explore that even more, you know, because there's, yeah, the breakaway that happens in the visual style, but there's so much more style to Wes Anderson as well. There's the audio style, the dialogue style. Like, if that was also paired with a character not speaking in this kind of Wes Anderson way, they were much more informal, relaxed. I mean, you do get informal, relaxed dialogue there, but I feel like that's also a way he could contrast against his filmmaking style and really, you know, give us some great juxtaposition and really highlighting certain moments as being erratic or whatever, you know. And then it didn't happen much, and it was still much more cartoony. But this was like one of the goriest we've seen from Wes. Like that first person getting their top half blown off, that was completely unexpected for me. You know, it was just kind of a cartoonish splash of blood on the wall, but again, it's like breaking these conventions for Wes, what I expect from Wes. So it really shocked me there. And like when he's walking around like holding a random organ as well, it still is that cartoony style, but I feel like there wasn't that same level in other things. Like in Grand Budapest, for example, we get like nosebleeds and they're just like drawn on nosebleeds like you would be on stage, but that felt more real when he was like holding that organ. It looked like a real, you know, they've gone to the butcher's and bought something and he's just holding something there, you know. Although there was one moment actually where Jar Jar was smoking a cigar and he was lighting it, and I thought, oh, is he actually gonna light it or not? Because I feel like some films it wouldn't actually get lit and there'd be like a almost cartoony puff of smoke or something, but it was actually lit here. And I think part of that as well is this film didn't have the same story structure. It wasn't multiple layers, you know. Asteroid City is a play that's inside a story, all of that. And then Grand Budapest is a book within a book, you know, within a story being told. And then this was actually just straightforward. There was no narrative framing really as this being a book or a retelling of someone's life or anything like that. It was actually more straightforward. So maybe that's why things are a bit more realistic in holding the organ, in actually smoking and lighting the cigar, things like that, you know? And of course, the eclectic cast is back again, all of your favourites. Bill Murray as God, that just feels essential at this point. Michael Cera makes a great addition as Bjorn, and it's great when he drops the facade. There's something quite charming about the disheveled look and everything, and then he's got the American accent, and then giving Benicio del Toro a much more prominent role here was really great. You know, Wes always has his favourites in his cast, but it does get mixed up, you know, who's in the forefront or not. And Mia Frappleton was a great addition as well. You know, the father-daughter is the heart here, so you need to make sure that works with their dynamic, their chemistry, and that really did work here. And I think as well, going back to the critiques of Wes as of late, you know, people say it's style over substance, but style can inform substance as well. And you get that in the dialogue between Jar Jar and Lysil, where it's quite cold and, you know, uncaring, but at the start that represents what their relationship is, you know. It's a distant relationship and it's a distant dialogue, you know. And then through the form again, through the style, we get those moments of connection between them where we've got much more punched in camera with much more of a bokeh around, which is different than other shots in the film where you've got the quite deep focus and you know, to capture all the detailing of the set design and all of that. The style is the substance as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, all of that good stuff. I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.